We wanted to do something different. We wanted to go a step above. I really wanted to experiment with a lot of different materials and a lot of metals. I sat down with Jesse, with our mechanical engineer. I always told him, hey, I love aluminums. I really want to experiment with titanium. And the reason is because it's almost an indestructible material and it's a really quick read response from that. He comes back a couple weeks later and says, hey, after talking with you, I've come up with some formula calculations. Let me show you what I've got.
There's a lot of terms that get thrown around in the industry, like hardness, density. This calls more stiff, this one's softer, this one's mellow, this one sounds real ducky. A lot of them are used interchangeably, but they can't be. Now, the idea here is to assign these terms with real measurable values. So to do that, we had to come up with a couple different material properties to even measure. Something like density is a real value that every material has, so we can correlate that. We have the modulus of elasticity of a material, which is basically how stiff it is. So we can take those two attributes and put them together to get how fast the speed of sound should theoretically be in the material. And depending on how we use those, we can tweak the numbers and have a more mellow tone or a higher pitch or just a sharper sound. So ultimately, I came up with a formula that calculates the speed of sound in a material via the vibrations through the reed. So through all the testing, we found out using multiple different materials such as acrylic, polystyrene, polycarbonate, acetyls, ebonite. They all have these same numbers, and we plug them in and find out how they're different related to. And titanium just shines head and shoulders above the rest. The end result using titanium, which has a higher speed of sound, would be a goose call. It would have louder, more pure noise out in the field.
It just blew me away because literally he kind of validated on the science side of it of what I've kind of experienced in real life situations. Through using different materials, through using the harder metal style materials, I'm noticing that quicker read response, the loudness, the volume is just off the chart. And but to see it on paper, to see the calculations that he did as far as measuring the speed of sound as it travels through a solid state material, it just blew me away.